Thank you for calling the Sarasota Dog Salon. What type of dog? Hi, this is Kevin calling the Sarasota Dog Salon. Thank you for calling the Sarasota Dog Salon.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. I am Cammie, and
Kevin.
We are at the Sarasota Dog Salon. I am introducing Kevin. He has been with us for about 3 months now.
Give or take.
So originally, I had hired him on to answer phones and run the front, check in, check out, and he is introducing retail into our salon.
Currently transferring the waiting list to a new sheet of paper because our old one's full.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. I am Cammie, and
Kevin.
We are at the Sarasota Dog Salon. I am introducing Kevin. He has been with us for about 3 months now.
Give or take.
So originally, I had hired him on to answer phones and run the front, check in, check out, and he's a canine nutrition specialist. He can really help you and your dogs, but I just wanted to let people know, you know, as he took on the role of front office manager and taking over all of the reception duties, check in, check out, the phone calls, you know, being a receptionist, if you've ever been in that position, is probably one of the most difficult because it's not your trade. You know, Kevin's never been a dog groomer. His specialty is retail and dog food and canine nutrition. So when he came in, it was kind of like a whole new world.
It was a very great whole new world. A great experience.
But you have to learn, like, even knowing the dog breeds, and then, you know.
There's a lot that's to it. The dog breeds, what that specific breed gets, usually for a cut. Like if somebody called with a doodle and they wanted just a bath, that's usually not the case. They want a little trimming done as well. There's a lot to it. Definitely a lot of little information.
Yeah. So he, you know, in the midst of all of this, you know, he would be on the phone and answering phone calls, and halfway through, I would overhear the conversation, like, you know, say a Pomeranian called for just a bath. Well, you know, if you own a Pomeranian or anything similar, you know that you never just need a bath. It's always a bath and deshed and trimming around the feet and sanitary areas. But he does, if anybody that's not in the industry doesn't really know that. So his onboarding and his training has come such a long way just in the last 3 months.
It really has.
Because it's not really just running the front end. It's really, he has to know what the groomers do, how they do it, the process, the time that it takes, the dog breeds, the dog coats. And on
preference.
The groomer preference. Certain clients, prefer certain people. Certain dogs are a little more difficult to do or not as experienced.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a video with Kevin and maybe just kind of ask him a few questions and just kind of tell you guys about him and what he does here, because he honestly. I did not think when I first brought you on, I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to fill his day. And honestly, since he started, we've been getting 12 to 14 messages in the morning when we get in.
Every day.
Every day. He answers multiple phone calls. I think you took about 30.
About 30, yeah, his average.
So, and these are all of the things that I was doing and that the other girls were doing. And each phone call takes, what would you say?
5 minutes, anywhere between 2 minutes to 5 minutes. If I'm just calling a client to pick up a dog, it's about a minute, but those add up. 20 dogs a day, that's 20 minutes, and if they were doing it all, that's 20 minutes from a groom that they would have to do, so it really adds up. Those little phone calls, even a minute phone call, if there's 30 of them in a day, adds up.
Right. When a new client calls and schedules an appointment, how does that go?
It usually goes pretty good. I like to just sort of do the audio walkthrough and kind of walk through what type of dog they have, what kind of haircut they want, if they've ever been to a groomer, stuff like that, what kind of specific cut, if it does get a specific cut, and just general base questions, if it's good with a blow dryer, been to other groomers before, or if they just kind of want to get in and see the shop. There's a lot of different things new clients want to talk about, and that's why I'm here.
And usually how long does that take if it's a new client?
Anywhere between 8 to 15 minutes, give or take, how chatty they are.
Yeah.
It's
well, and how much detail goes into their pet, because a lot of people that are finding us are, the dogs have had bad experiences or they have special needs. And, as far as like the messages go, they take how long in the morning or in the afternoon?
At least an hour, I would say, throughout my day. It's not continuous because it gets broken up, checking dogs in or getting notes written down for specific things that somebody wants for their dog that day. So about an hour throughout the day, I would say, is the
I was spending, so before I hired Kevin, we had gotten so busy that I was actually not even answering the phone during the day. I would check messages at the end of my day, and it was taking anywhere from at least a half an hour to an hour at the end of every day that I had. So if you're a client and you do call, if Kevin doesn't answer, it's most likely because he's already on the phone with another client, or he has a client in front of him that he's checking in or out. But I promise you, he's checking messages every morning, and every time he misses a phone call when he's on the phone, he usually checks the messages then too.
At the end of every day, or midway through.
And if you're on this channel and you're a groomer and a business owner, I kind of put off hiring a front office manager for a year. And it is well worth it. It's, it's almost more worth it to me than having a bather, because it just takes that much of a load off.
It really is a big load.
I'm actually I'll sit for a minute and then I'm gonna ask you a few questions and then we'll just kind of go from there. So what was the hardest thing so far, learning wise? What was the hardest thing to learn to make your job easier?
Probably just the scheduling. The whole scheduling system was the real big curve. Figuring out the order of everything that needs to be in, the check-in times, the check-out times, bath dog times, all of that stuff really kind of piled up in the beginning, and then learning which dogs go on which people, on which groomers, and then just really getting that down packed was probably the biggest hurdle to overcome. After that, though, it really, really opened things up. So.
What's the most stressful part of running the front end of a grooming salon?
The most stressful part? I would have to say,
you can be honest.
Yeah. when a dog passes, I think talking on the phone afterwards, or not when it happens here, because that doesn't happen, but at their house, and a client who is canceling their appointment, that's probably the most stressful and tugs at my heartstrings the most. But other than that, it's a really stress-free job. I love it. Or at least for me, stress-free for me.
And then what is one of the things, what is what is something that you wish that you could communicate to owners that would make everyone else's jobs a little bit easier?
I would say brushing. Brushing dogs is a very big part, getting those mats out, if they go swimming, outside, anything like that. Just trying to work through those on your own would be a big part of the ladies' jobs, because it takes a while to get those mats out.
What would make your job easier when they call to schedule?
It's a good question. Maybe if they understood that a puppy cut isn't a real thing besides poodles. It's hard to explain that doesn't really exist besides an actual poodle cut, and you probably don't want that on your Yorkie. So that's probably the biggest thing, is client knowledge on what a lot of those things mean. And
so bringing if you're a new client, bringing pictures.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Probably
just to get an idea of what you guys want.
Yeah. And then as far as let's see. So what do you think the number one phone call is that we get? The
number one phone call that we get would probably be for scheduling, that the people in the area are all booked out and they're trying to get in. That's probably the most popular phone call that we get. After that would probably just be I guess a lot of business calls about things for the business, getting ducks in a row, setting up different appointments for different things like Cintas or Endless Aisles, which is actually going to be coming out soon. Keep an eye out for it, online ordering. Other than that, that's about it. And
so what's the hardest part of working for a grooming salon but not being a groomer?
Well, that would probably be understanding the cuts, how they get done, and the blade sizes, stuff like that. When somebody's asking to go really short, close to the skin or something, just really getting a grasp of the actual grooming techniques would probably be the most difficult part, not being a groomer myself, in seeing. It's just kind of hard to get really a grasp for what it is. These ladies are artists. It's really a wonderful profession, and that's probably the most difficult part for me, is just understanding those cuts and how they get done.
Most of the time, the owners don't know what haircut they want, and then you not being a groomer, it just makes it a little bit harder. So maybe just
knowledge on the cut that you're asking for. Like she was saying earlier, bringing a picture would be phenomenal, or just kind of a little bit more baseline knowledge of what your breed usually gets, I guess, would be probably the easiest. Average grooms for that breed. So just maybe before your next appointment, just do a Google. Let's say you have a Yorkie, popular Yorkie cuts, and then bring a picture or something. That would be nice, I think, to ease the process along. But I'm slowly but surely getting much better with the lingo, terminology, stuff like that. So, definitely. As time goes forward.
Yep, absolutely. As far as the retail, tell people a little about your passion for bettering the dogs and their diet and what they eat and their lifestyle.
Well, what that boils down to is I love animals more than anything. I love dogs, I love cats, I love it all. And what it really boils down to is increasing the life of your pet and giving you more years with them. A lot of people, they don't know that food is the biggest part of your dog's life. What they eat really dictates a lot in their life, whether they're going to have certain allergens, skin issues, coat issues, stuff like that, blockages, bad anal glands, and just really showing people that there is an easy solution, there is an easy way forward, is probably what I'm most passionate about, getting those people who are having issues, struggling with them, you know, hating to see their dog itch, scratch, bite, all that stuff, it really can be solved with proper nutrition, proper daily nutrition. And I just want everybody to know how easy it is and how many years it can add to your pet's life. I'm really looking forward to interacting with more and more clients, showing them what we do here and showing them what we have to offer. A lot of our different formulas that we have, such as our limited ingredient, our ancient grains options, you know, there's a lot that we have to offer, and you know, that's probably what I'm most passionate about, is connecting with all the clients and their pets.
Now lastly, Kevin actually, the reason that we found him was through Megan, who she started in October, and she just naturally has an eye and an art for grooming. So I've literally never had anyone pick up you know, the art of grooming as fast as she did. Kevin and Megan actually are dating, so that is how we found Kevin. So what is it like working with your significant other?
Well, it's honestly, a lot of people would probably say that it's not great or not fun, but I love it. I love every day of it. Coming to work with her, just seeing how she turns a doodle that's matted and hair everywhere into something that's beautiful. That's probably the best part about it. I love it. And she opens up my viewpoint and my world every day. She teaches me something new, something exciting, and she just shares for me her passion of grooming with me every day. And me not being a groomer, it's really nice to kind of get that personal insight into it. So I love it. I love every second of it.
I think she was quizzing him on the breeds and the coat types and stuff
she still does.
So it does help. Thank you for kind of answering questions, and I look forward to, we're gonna bring, you know, you'll be if you're a client of ours, you'll be talking to Kevin when you call and schedule any questions. You know, I have a lot of people calling or texting my cell phone, and maybe just thinking that maybe Kevin's new or doesn't know them. So I do want to put, you know, all of my trust in scheduling is 100% in Kevin's hands. It does take a lot of the weight off of my shoulders. He does help out tremendously. If there's ever an issue with scheduling, he's more than happy to help and see when we can get you in or rearrange some things. Yeah. Definitely. So he'll be in a lot of our videos talking nutrition and scheduling and things like that. So he is 100% our front office manager, retail manager, and he's here to help with anything that you need. So
anything and everything. I look forward to meeting and talking to all of you guys. It's going to be something I look forward to.